Do you need to be sore to build muscle? Short answer, no. But I understand why a lot of people think that you do. Soreness is often associated with a good workout. If you're sore the next day, you feel like you did something productive. And if you're not sore, it can feel like the session wasn't effective. But that's not really how muscle growth works. That soreness that you feel a day or two after training is called delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS. And it tends to happen when you're new to training, you increase volume, or you introduce new exercises. So in other words, soreness is often a response to novelty, something your body isn't used to. But as you repeat the same movements consistently, your body adapts. So you can be training just as hard, sometimes even harder, and not feel sore at all. But that doesn't mean it's not working. It just means your body's becoming more efficient at that movement. Now, muscle growth isn't driven by how sore you feel. It's driven by things like mechanical tension, sufficient effort, progressive overload, and proper recovery. So the question we want to ask ourselves after a workout isn't how sore am I feeling? It's, am I stronger than I was last time? Are you adding a rep? Are you adding a bit of load? Are you controlling the weight better than you were last week? If those things are happening, you're moving in the right direction, whether you feel sore or not. This is why it can be so useful to follow a structured routine and track your progress. Now, soreness isn't a bad thing that we should avoid at all costs. It's just something that we don't want to chase. Mild soreness now and then is completely normal, especially if you change something in your program. It can simply mean that your body is adapting to a new stimulus. But if you're extremely sore every single week to the point where it affects your next session, that's probably not ideal. So if you're constantly sore, it can mean a few things. Maybe you went too hard too soon at the start of a new program. Maybe your volume is too high and you're unable to recover from it. Or maybe you're constantly changing exercises. When people use soreness as their main feedback system, they often start making random changes. And I've been guilty of doing this in the past as well because it feels productive, even if it isn't. They add more exercises, more sets, more intensity techniques. They switch movements every week. And while that may make you sore, it doesn't necessarily make you stronger. You can be extremely sore and still not stimulate much muscle growth if the program isn't structured properly. Muscle growth rewards repetition and progression, doing key movements consistently and gradually improving them over time, not constantly chasing soreness. So you don't need to be sore to build muscle. Now, soreness can be a byproduct of a progressive program, but increased performance is the goal. If your strength is gradually improving, if you're recovering well, if you're able to stay consistent, you're on the right track. So instead of asking, am I sore? Start asking, am I progressing? That's a much better indicator of whether your training is working. Anyway, I hope that answers that question. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and I'll see you next time.